Alrighty, y'all. Welcome to Ellis Mowers. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. This is a real-time update on a Saturday. I enjoyed being on Pate's Performance Live this morning. It was a lot of fun. Finally got up early enough to watch it and join the panel, which was really cool. I was hoping that I would have this trailer full today of more riding mowers, but if you've been catching me on my Instagram account and on my Facebook page at Ellis Mowers 09, I've been teasing a potential big trade deal. Well, that didn't happen. Long story short, called the guy yesterday afternoon because he told me to call him, and we scheduled a time for about 10 o'clock. Apparently the guy lives about 6 houses down from me, and called about 9:30 this morning, called about 10:30 this morning, and sent a Facebook message, none of which got responded to. So figured that deal is in and done, and I'll be taking this trailer back to my dad so he can get a Dodge Ram Charger onto it, take it to the scrap. So sometimes they don't work out, but as you can see, I got all the others off the trailer, and I'm just been trying to clean up a little bit around here. It's a little bit of a mess still. I've got these two push mowers out. I'm going to go ahead and disassemble them tomorrow because I have two riding mowers up for sale right now and should have a third one tomorrow. I'll show you those here in just a second. I don't have my keys to the lean-to, but one of them's that Craftsman, the gray Craftsman. That's the 12.5 horse 38-inch cut. That's what was going to be part of the trade deal, and it no longer is, so I've listed it back up. I'm probably going to lower the price by about 25 bucks on that and the Murray, just to try and get it going. I'll show you the Murray and a couple others in just a minute, but this Craftsman right here is probably the nicest of the bunch that I got that's been sitting on the trailer. What I know it needs right now is something's going on with the brakes on it. It doesn't seem like the brake pedal and the variable drive pedal want to communicate with each other very well. So I think I've either lost a spring or something of that nature. I'll have to tear that down. Luckily, it's not too bad to get under the deck. Hopefully, the transmission's good on it. I don't think that'll be the next one that I work on. I think the Wizard will be the next that I work on here. I've got a deck for it, a good deck for it. I think it just needs tire tubes and some freshening up. Obviously, that seat looks horrible, but you know, you kind of take what you can get. So this one's got the hood's a little messed up on it, but I can do my best to work to fix that or in some form or fashion. It's got the 14.5 horse Briggs on it. I don't think it's going to take too much to get it going. And then obviously I got to make sure that it can drive and cut and all that good stuff. Like I said, I don't think it'll take too much to get this one going. It'll need tire tubes. I've got one tire that's already flat. I think this tire's alright, but that's coming on down the line. The Husqvarna, I think I'm going to do a Briggs swap on still. Like I said, I'm just trying to pick my battles right now to see what I can get in and out of the garage as quickly as possible, because I've already robbed the carburetor off of this, and I think it's got a compression release issue also. So oops, but I had some stuff just rammed up in the shroud there because I didn't want to lose it. So, but this is about the biggest piece of work engine that you can find on a riding mower. Is one of them Kohler Courages. Like I said, I think it's got a compression release issue and some issues with the cracked block. It's probably not worth saving, truthfully. I'll show y'all real quick. I'll put the 17 horse Briggs on it from this Troy built, because the rest of the mower is basically trashed, especially the trans pulleys and stuff. So, and then these two Troy builts here, this one had a rusted out deck on it. This one has steering issues. It also needs a blade engage cable at the very least. But if that's all this one needs, it shouldn't take too long for me to get this one going either. Like I said, it's just picking my battles and all that good stuff right now, and just trying to figure out what I can get in and out. And that green Craftsman in the back seems like it would be a good candidate too. I just don't know if the deck that I have will be good and functional for it. I would like to get the Murray in too. I mean, like I said, I gotta go one at a time. But I think since I'm in good shape on riders for sale right now, I'm going to break this mower down and take the engine off of it. I think I have a good engine here. Probably going to need a recoil for it. And I'm going to do my best to take the engine off of this mower that's just completely rusted out. So I think that's going to be what I do first thing tomorrow, just to get some stuff cleaned up and cleaned out, you know. So I've been at work a little bit. I know some of y'all like these updates. I sold a 1500 PSI pressure washer today. I got $50 for it. It was just one of them Coleman Power Mate ones that they made a little while ago. So, you know, it's nothing too special. It's only worth about $50 or $60. And I've also been working on this Murray, the rear engine rider Murray, which I got back together, and the transaxle was fun to put back together, let me tell you. It was so fun, I actually didn't include it in the video that will be coming out on this. So it's going to be a two-part video coming on later in the summer. But the thing that I can't figure out now is this thing is what we call cold-blooded. It is a pain to start when it's cold out, or when it's not cold outside, but when it's first getting started. After that, it seems like it starts and runs okay. You have to like finesse the choke just right to get it going. But like I said, once it gets going, it's great. Governor and everything's working on it. So I just don't know if it's tired and a little low on compression or something along those lines. The crown jewel of the day, though, thankfully, I got something going. It was a little bit of a struggle of a day, struggle of the past few days for many reasons I'm not going to get into. However, this little Snapper Hi-Vac push mower turned out relatively nice for what it is. What I was waiting on for this were a new primer bulb and a new carburetor, which I got a few days ago. You know, parts are a little bit hard to get in a timely manner right now if you order online. Put those two on, primed it. It started on the third pull, didn't smoke or anything. Oil was decent on it. Changed the oil out on it. The two things that I noticed, and the two things that I have, I guess, repaired halfway, was the first, I had a hole in the bag right here. It was a pretty big hole. I just took some zip ties and just tied it together, and it seems to be holding. It's been like this for a few hours. Because what they did was, here's the mulching cover for it, so you can run it without the bag and put the mulching cover in. It just shoves in like that. The guy had stored it with the mulching cover on top of the bag, and over time the bag got weak and wore a hole into it. So, like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but it works. And the other thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if there's like a locker on these or what that I'm missing, is that whenever you have the self-propel, oh, by the way, the key start doesn't. If somebody wants to put a battery in it, then, you know, the key start would work. But it's just, I mean, if the pull start works for me, that's fine, you know. That's just kind of the way I am. Excuse me. But this is the self-propel. And for some reason, when you pull the self-propel over there, it slowly go down to the slow position. You can see the disc on the self-propel in the back slowly go down, and you can feel it slowing down. So what I did is I just put a little elastic strap, bungee strap here, just to hold the self-propel in the fast position, and even in that position, it's not running you out the door by any means. So it's most people's walking pace, so they'll just, they'll live with it. I still don't know what I want to list this for. I think I want to throw it up for about 220, just because of the issues and whatnot. I know that Jason Pate and those guys can probably get upwards of $400 for these things up in Long Island area, but down here, again, maybe about 200 and some change. If this was nicer, I could probably put it at 250. I'll probably start it at 220 just to see what happens. Because it's a commercial grade mower, so it's not your run of the mill. I also sold a green Lawn Boy mower this week, and I think that's all I've sold this week. It's been a pretty quiet week because of all the rain that we've had. It rained for about 4 days straight around here, and so it hit right as I listed that Craftsman that I was talking about, the 38-inch deck Craftsman, and then this Black Murray, which ended up having to do a little bit of work too after I listed it. I saw that the exhaust gasket actually had a hole blown out of it, and so what it was doing is it was actually trying to melt the plug wire here, and so I put a new exhaust gasket on it, and that fixed the issue that I had with that. And it's starting to run, runs, cuts good. It's just not a looker. I have it listed for $400, and I have not gotten a single bite off of it, which is crazy, because if this was a Craftsman of the same vintage for $400, it would have been gone like within hours. But for some reason, people just do not buy Murray riding mowers. I do not get the reason, because they're the most tough, bulletproof riding mowers I've ever seen in my life. You can probably ride them through a fire and they'll still come out on the other side. I mean, it's crazy. The 165, like I said, I haven't gotten to. It's just the time. It's whatever I can get to, I'm not the fastest worker in the world. And I also work a full-time job and have a life outside of working on lawnmowers when I'm not at my job. So that kind of helps matters, I guess. But what's been struggling with me now, and if you're still with me on this video, I have a question to ask that it was in addition to why in the world is this thing hard to cold start. But I have two opposed twin cylinder Briggs and Stratton engines here, and I don't know how well I can show them to y'all, because I've got stuff in front of them. But this lawnmower came back to me after I had sold it and thought that I had got it sold and thought that I had gotten all the issues fixed. Sorry, I'm just releasing the parking brake so I can actually open the hood on one. What I have found out since is that it seems like I have very erratic voltage going to the battery when I have the stator plugged in. But what happens is the battery seems like it discharges very, very quickly after trying to crank. You see, I would think that a brand new battery would turn it better after only trying for a couple of times. However, I have done some research, and if anybody wants to help me and back me up, please do. Or if anybody has any additional advice, because I put a new coil on this. I have similar issues with both mowers here. They both have new coil. They both have good plugs. They both will start and run when cold. However, and just hear me out, I thought it was a no spark issue. I have bought rebuild kits for both carburetors, which I have put into both carburetors, and have rebuilt them. Now, they will run okay. They won't idle down, and they have a hard time idling, or they won't idle down well, and they'll have a hard time picking back up to full RPM without throwing a bunch of choke to it and trying to finesse the choke. The thing that I noticed is the oil level is getting a little bit on the high side. And I don't know if I can take this off. Let me lay y'all down for a second. The oil is getting high, and this is not a good indication, but the oil is above, like basically on the full wording there of the dipstick, and it seems a little thin. So after doing some research on Amazon, looking at some of the reviews, when people buy new carburetors for these, just the whole new carburetor, is that techs have said that whenever you rebuild these, this is the 4-screw Nicky type carburetor. I put a new fuel pump on it and everything. And people have said that when you rebuild these carburetors, they often will not run right still. So I'm taking the $40 gamble, so to speak, with a new carb, and I'm going to try it out. And I will report to y'all back to see if that fixes all the other issues that I have. Because what it's doing, because it's being slow to turn over, is I think it's flooding the cylinders, and it's making it, there's more fluid in there, and so it's making it harder for the engine to turn, because there's a bunch of unburnt fuel in there, and it's just compressing. And what it's doing, as opposed to not getting spark to the plug, is fouling out the plug. So that's my theory now. If it's not the carburetor, I don't know what it can be at this point. So we'll see. The carburetor's coming the first week in June. I only bought one just for testing purposes. And once I get that thing tested, I'll test it on this mower. If I get a good test, I'll buy one for that too, because I got all the parts I need. I just need to put these back together. It's just a little frustrating because I thought I would have both mowers out by this time, and I'm still struggling. I've been struggling for, gosh, this one right here, this is like a month and a half saga. But that's kind of the update on what everything's going on right now. Like I said, I'm just going to be disassembling some stuff first thing tomorrow, since I've got three riders that are ready to go. Memorial Day weekend, hopefully everybody has a good Memorial Day weekend. Just remember those that we have lost, and remember the reason why that we remember on a weekend like this. You don't say Happy Memorial Day because it's not a happy holiday, so to speak. I'm going to mess with this pressure washer as well. I got a carburetor for it. I just need to find a top cover for the air filter. Top cover for the air filter. I'm going to put it on a push mower because the pump is bad on this, which is why it was given to me. But anyways, I appreciate y'all watching as always. Hopefully this inventory will change over the course of the week. I hope that's gone. I hope that is gone, and I hope that is gone. So hopefully everybody else's season is going pretty well. It's just been kind of quiet around here this week just because of the weather. And then now the holiday weekend, a lot of folks are gone. So it should pick back up mostly for the month of June, and then after July 4th is pretty much done around here. Pretty hard pressed to get a sale. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Tomorrow night, Sunday night, y'all will see a Briggs & Stratton Boland's push mower twofer. One of them's got the classic engine, one of them's got the overhead valve, new style plastic carb engine on it. And we'll be refreshing those. So I'll catch y'all on that video tomorrow night, and I will catch y'all again right here on the channel, and also at Ellis Mowers 09 on Instagram and Facebook. See you then.